Focus on the game. Sunday, or was it 2 o'clock kickoff at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. But before we get into our predicted lineup, let's go to our sponsors, BETMATE. We have a private pot going on with BETMATE this weekend. £100 up for grabs, absolutely free to play. So if you want to join our pot, use the QR code on screen right now. The link is in the description below on the video. So it's completely free. As you can see there, first place £30, second place £16.50, and third place gets £9.60. And if you guys love playing FPL or any sort of fantasy league games, this is the game for you, because this really puts to test your football knowledge. It's a 7-a-side team. You have to pick in the team basically a minimum of one player from the other team. So that means you can pick 6 Spurs players, for example, and 1 Aston Villa player, or vice versa, or you can just do a mixture of the both. Let's go and have a look at the teams that we've picked. So let's go to Sim's team first.
This is my team. So I went for Emi Martinez in goal, because I've got a feeling neither team keep a clean sheet, and I think Martinez is likely to make more saves than Vicario, and you get a point per save in this game. So save points are quite valuable. So I went for Emi Martinez. In defence, Destiny Doggy and Cuti Romero, a mix of Romero, who may be likely to get involved in a lot of duels, and I think the Doggy could be very valuable in this game. I think with Villa's high line, him overlapping, getting him behind, could be good. Midfield, John McGinn, who gets involved in a lot of duels and tackles and whatever, and he's likely to maybe step up and potentially get a goal contribution. And Kudus as my captain, because he's just in great form. Got his first goal against Leeds, and got goal and assist over international break. So I think it's going to go from strength to strength. And up front, I've gone for the pair who have been balling out over the international break, Tel and Odebear. I've gone for those two. I think Tel's going to start. I think both of them are going to continue their good form. So I've gone for those two.
My team, I've gone for Big Vic in goal. I think if anyone's going to keep a clean sheet, it is going to be Tottenham Hotspur, and I suspect that there will be a bit of goal action as well, and Villa might have, Vicario might be called into action and make a number of saves on the day. In defence, I've gone the exact opposite to you. I've gone for Mickey van der Ven and Pedro Porro. I think it's kind of similar reasonings, but with their high line, I think Porro could catch them out with his balls from deep. He's going to be on set pieces as well. Mickey van der Ven, I think, he's been defending brilliantly this season. I think he's got so many points already for defensive contributions, maybe not in FPL, but in BETMATE. I've gone for Mohamed Kudus as captain as well. Alongside Mohamed Kudus as captain, I've gone for Camara in the middle, because he is always like an all-action midfielder that gets involved in so many duels and defensive contributions. And up top, I've gone for the same as you, Matisse Tel and Wilson Odebear, with Matisse Tel being my vice-captain. So the difference is between BETMATE and FPL, you get a vice-captain, which is times 1.5 points. Then obviously the captain is double your points. So
yeah, my vice was a Doggy.
A Doggy, your vice. So yeah, really fun game to play. Money up for grabs, nothing that you have to put into it as well. So use the QR code on screen, download the app, register, and join our private pot for the game. Take us on. Yeah, take us on, people.
Take us on. Try and beat us. Come on. We've been paid out a few times so far. A couple
of times, but there's been. I don't think we've won yet.
We haven't won yet.
We haven't won yet. So
it's not that hard to
there's people out there. There's people out there winning money off us.
Exactly. So come on, try your hand. Try and beat us.
Yeah. All right. Let's go into our predicted lineup, and let's start off talking of the team news going into the game. So what have we got for team news?
So Randall Colomwani back, available and fit for the weekend. Confirmed by Thomas Frank in his press conference. So that is fantastic news. Everyone's really looking forward to seeing him, because we just haven't really got a good look at him ever since he's come to Tottenham. Solanke still unavailable. He said he's progressing well. He's training alone, but still unavailable for this weekend. Basuma picked up a serious injury on international duty and affecting his ligaments. So in his knee, I think he said. So he is unavailable for the next few weeks. Dragashin, he didn't mention him, but he's obviously been training with the team over the last few weeks now. So we'll have to remain to see when he's going to be available. And obviously, long-term absentees, Madison, Kulusevski, still unavailable for this weekend.
Yeah. So look, more positive on the Moani front. Like to see Solanke back.
And Takai, actually, you mentioned Takai. I think he should be available, I'm guessing. He was available before the international break.
Yeah, the guy needs a pre-season, doesn't he?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm not saying he's going to play, but he's like fit, I think.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if he's on the bench or not, Takai. But look, we'll see what happens. Obviously, Basuma and Ben Davis out as well.
Davis, yes.
Because Davis picked up a injury on international break. So it's kind of like some defenders coming back, another one goes out.
I didn't mention him as well. I didn't mention Davis.
Yeah. So look, that's the injuries. Let's get into the predicted lineup. 4-3-3 formation as per usual. And obviously in goal is going to be Vicario.
Yep. And he actually was talking a bit about Vicario in his press conferences. He was asked, does he think Vicario needs to be better from set pieces? He said no, he thinks he's good from set pieces. He thinks that's something he can improve on, but he's actually impressed him. He thinks he's he's made some big saves for us. So he's been talking up Vicario quite a lot. Obviously, he's a player who's come under a bit of criticism. But when you actually look at the data and the stats, he has saved us a lot this season. I think he's near the top when it comes to shots prevented and goals prevented, sorry. So, yeah, maybe people are going overboard with his criticism. But I think you can't deny some of the goals he has been at fault for recently.
It's interesting as well. I was reading an article on Football London, and they had some quotes from like Sammy Mockbell. And he was saying that inside the place, inside Tottenham, they believe that Antonin Kinski has regressed.
Regressed?
Yeah, they're saying that, since the back end of the season, coming out of the team last year, they've seen a bit of a change on him and his progression has regressed, which is not great to hear.
Oh, didn't see that. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Hopefully it doesn't continue.
Yeah. But I mean, we're quite far away from the back end of last season, aren't we? And that article went up today. So that's the news on the goalkeepers. Right back is obviously going to be Pedro Porro, more or less ever present. I think he got rested for one game, but yeah, he's definitely starting. Yeah,
the only thing you would say is, it's crashed. The only thing you would say is two 90 minutes again for Spain. So is there a shout potentially of him needing a rest again? But he never seems to need a rest, does he? Pedro Porro just always plays, always available. So important to our game. So I think he plays. Yeah, and obviously moving into the defence alongside him, right centre back is going to be our captain, our leader, Cuti Romero. Yeah, such an important player for us, isn't he? Another good international break for him. Captain to Argentina, so comes back with a bit of authority. And I think the way Villa play, he's going to be quite important in this game as well, because Villa like to push their line quite high. And I think his little dinks over the top, like he did for Bergvall, like he's done for Madison and other players, that's going to be quite important in this game. And Porro as well. I feel like we say that every week about Cuti Romero. Oh, this game he's going to be really important. He is always he's just so important, isn't he?
Then alongside him, obviously, going to be Mickey van de Ven. Seems to be our player of the month pretty much every month in the performance ratings. Love him. Hopefully he gets a new contract soon. But yeah, he's playing unbelievably well. Yeah, obviously probably up against Ollie Watkins this weekend, who's definitely a handful. But hopefully with Romero and Van de Ven, that balance should be able to be good enough to take care of him. Now we move on to left back. It's obviously a toss-up between Destiny Udogie and Jed Spence. Jed obviously played very well for England during the international break. Destiny Udogie didn't get a minute, I don't think, for Italy over the course of the two games, so he'll be nicely rested. So, yeah, I think Destiny Udogie comes back in. Yeah, I think Udogie on Sunday, and I think Spence plays midweek. Monaco. I think Udoggie's going to be really crucial for this game because Villa play quite narrow and they like to compress the pitch, and I think Udoggie's creating width is going to be so crucial in this game. So I think it'll be a big mistake if he picks Spence for this one and Udogie on Wednesday. I think it needs to be Udogie in this game. Interesting. All right, so the defence we're going for is Vicario in goal, Porro right back, Udogie left back, Romero and Van de Ven in the midfield. First midfielder who I think is definitely going to play is going to be João Palhinha, and I feel like everyone's just falling in love with this guy, João Palhinha, what he's producing for us week in, week out now.
Yeah, he's just like the first name on the team sheet, isn't he? He's so crucial, especially Villa, so combative in that middle. Boubacar Kamara, Amadou Onana, McGinn, so much strength and power. You need to match that. So I think João Palhinha definite has to be in there.
Yeah, now it's going to get a bit interesting in who else comes in. So alongside João Palhinha in the middle, are we going to see a Bentancur? Because we keep saying we don't want to see Bentancur and Palhinha at home. Is Pape Sarr going to come back in? What are you thinking?
Lucas Bergvall
as well, Archie Gray.
Yes, really difficult one to call. Very, very difficult one to call. I would like to see Bergvall next to Palhinha because I think the way Villa play in the transition, I think if you have a Bergvall who's able to play those quick, snappy passes and switches of play, I think that could be really valuable. And he's got the strength, I think, to play in that role. And I think he's bulked himself up a bit. He's a lot stronger than he used to be. Pape Sarr is also very good in the transition. Bentancur maybe has that strength and that solidity that can combat what Villa have in the middle as well. There's arguments for all of them. Gray, maybe deserves a start, but I don't know if he gets it in this one. I've got a feeling it might be Bentancur, but
I've got a feeling it's going to be Pape. I think Pape, obviously, last week's performances Spurs haven't been great, but I think he's just been kind of like, he had that knock, and I think he suffered for it. He has got significant game time for Senegal now. I think he played a 90-minute game, and then came on off the bench for the last 15 minutes of the last game. So with what you're saying about him being good in the transition, he's also combative in the middle. I've got a feeling he's going to try out Palhinha and Sarr, middle of the park.
But I think the way they like to play in a mid-block as well, Villa, so they're going to basically, whenever the ball goes into midfield, they're going to be on it. So you need players that are good in those moments. You need players who are good on the half-turn, who can take the ball under pressure. I think having João and Sarr together would be a mistake. I think maybe you want either one of Bentancur or Bergvall, who are much more comfortable just beating a press and turning and being comfortable in that pressure. I think having João and Sarr together, who are, for me, two of our least comfortable players in those situations compared to Bentancur and Bergvall.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Because they play mid-block, so that area is going to be very
congested,
combative. Yeah. There's going to be a lot of focus on that area. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's how they're going to try and win the ball in the middle. I would like to see Bergvall.
I'd like to see Gray.
Or Gray.
I think Gray would be perfect alongside João. I don't know. I've got a feeling he's going to go for Sarr, but he could. It's a toss-up. He could go for any of them.
I reckon midweek he goes probably Bentancur and Palhinha away from home in Monaco.
Yeah.
So maybe he goes Bergvall at home, tries to take it to him. That's what I think.
Yeah, we just haven't seen that from him, have we?
Not from the start, but we saw it again. Obviously, we've seen it in game and it's worked.
Yeah.
And it hasn't worked well against Wolves, but it did work against Brighton. I don't know, I've got a feeling I'm starting to talk myself into Bergvall now. I think it might be Bergvall.
I'd be very happy for it to be Bergvall.
I think it's the right decision. I think it would be the right decision. But then again, if they play Amadou, Boubacar and McGinn in the middle, if we're saying Simmons is going to be in the 10, is that enough kind of physicality if we put Bergvall there? That's also a question.
I think it could be, because I think we've had those worries about going into the Villa game before, and we're thinking, this Villa midfield, they're so strong, they're so aggressive, and then we've kind of been able to pass our way through them. And I think, if we get good passes in the midfield, that could be the case again.
So let's go Bergvall then.
All right. We'll go Lucas Bergvall against João. And then obviously that leaves us with Javi Simmons in the 10.
He has to be playing now. I think he said, look, maybe when we were watching the game against Leeds, people were saying it wasn't that strong, but Frank said it was his strongest performance, and obviously off the back of as well the Brighton game where he was really good. So We need to see more of him in this position, in my opinion. And actually, I was watching back some of his highlights against Leeds, and maybe we didn't give him enough credit because I thought he was maybe a bit better than we were saying. Because he did have some bad moments, but there was some really good kind of turns of pace and wriggling in between players, and that little lob pass to Porro, and there was some really good stuff there from Simmons. So we need to just keep seeing him in that position, I think.
I agree. So Mohamed Kudus out wide on the right-hand side. Obviously, we know how important Mohamed Kudus is for us. Got his first goal. Hopefully, he's chomping at the bit to get back on the pitch and put another one in the back of the net.
Yeah, 100%. He's just our most informed player. Such a valuable player to us as well. Funny thing is, I would say, of all games, this could be a game for Brennan because he does have very good record against Villa. I'm not saying potentially instead of Kudus, I'm just saying in general. He does have a really good record against Villa, and the way Villa play this high line, very congested kind of pitch. They like to make the pitch very narrow, high line, but also mid block. So they like to make the pitch small. But Brennan seems to always do well against them. He has a good record.
If I'm playing Brennan against Aston Villa, it's not in replacement for Kudus. It will be in replacement for a left wing or a striker.
Yeah, I'm just saying in general. I think Kudus has to play because he's just playing too well at the moment.
Yeah.
But I think I'm just thinking. Maybe it's just like off the bench potentially, but I think Brennan this could be a good game for him because I think Villa do leave space for you, and he's good at exploiting.
I wouldn't mind seeing him in the 9, Brennan Johnson, or even out on the left-hand side, because he can just pop up with a goal, particularly in a game like this. So
I don't know if he'll start, to be fair, but I do think it's.
There's a case for it. There is a serious case for it. There is,
because you got to remember at Villa Park when we beat them 4-0, he scored. It was brilliant last season.
Did he score in a 4-1?
Yeah, I think he came on at half time, I think, and he scored straight away and set us on for a win. So he has a good record against Villa. He has a good record against them. Remember that game when we lost them 2-1 at home, but he set up loads of chances, and we just missed loads and loads of giveaway chances. So because he just continually just makes that run in behind, and we just were finding him constantly. So I think there are some games, we know there are some games he's kind of anonymous and he's not made for. But I think this kind of game he is actually made for.
I think you're kind of swaying me because I was thinking Wilson Odebear on the left-hand side, but now I think it could be Brennan Johnson.
The only thing is why I would want Wilson and Tell up front is because they're playing well at the moment. They're getting that combination. They're creating a bit of a partnership. So I do want to keep that going. And we know Tell can't play on Wednesday.
I mean, they're playing okay. I mean,
they're starting to develop stuff. Obviously, they played really well. I know it was bad opposition, but they played really well over the international break. Obviously, against Leeds, they were starting to develop some rhythm. So I would want to keep that going. Keep that good feeling going, keep that connection between the two as well. I don't want to lose that, especially as we know Tell can't play on Wednesday, so that would have to be naturally broken up for Wednesday anyway. So I would want to keep it going for this game, but
you want to play the players that are more suited for the game as opposed to just.
It's a mix. There's players from who suit to the game, also players on form. You have to make a judgment call.
Yeah, I wouldn't say Odebear is massively on form. He played.
Brennan, though.
Yeah, he's playing better than Brennan, but.
And he's got a good rapport with the doggy, I feel.
Still, Brennan has got how many goal contributions for us, and how many has Odebear got?
Well, he's got 2.
Yeah.
2 goals.
And how many has Odebear got?
No goals. Did he got any assists? I don't know.
I don't think he's got any assists either. So, I like Wilson.
It's not all about goals and assists.
No, it's not. It's about how you impact the game and hurt the opposition. And I think Wilson Odebear, he did okay. He did okay against Leeds. I don't think he blew anyone away.
I'm not saying he's undroppable, but I do think when you've got a young player who's building himself up and he's starting to play better and better, I think Wilson is. I think he's more of an asset to the team right now than Brennan in the way he connects with everyone else. Not necessarily because he's providing goals and assists, but I think having him there is making the team better. So I think maybe that's why he might continue with him.
Yeah. I just feel like with everything you're saying about how Brennan always does well against Villa, and there's big reasons for it. Maybe he starts with Brennan and then turns to Odebear in the last half an hour, 25 minutes of the game.
I think it could be the opposite.
Or it could be the opposite. It could very well be the opposite, It could start with Odebear and then turn to... Because we know Brennan loves a goal off the bench as well. So... Look, we'll go with Odebear. I think it is probably more likely Odebear starts on the left, but I wouldn't be surprised at all if you saw Brennan Johnson out on the left from the starting lineup.
Yeah, I just think he's going to continue with him because I think he's in a good moment. He's got a good feeling in the moment, and I think hopefully it's a matter of time before he does start getting contributing to goals and assists.
And last but not least, the number 9 toss-up between Richarlison, toss-up between Matisse Tell and Randall Kolo Muani, who is back in contention for this game.
Poor Dane, not even getting a mention.
Not even Dane. Look, Dane didn't even get a mention in the Doncaster game from the manager, so I think that's where he's at this moment in time. But I don't think Randall Kolo Muani starts. I think
he maybe will get 20 minutes though.
Yeah, so there you go. So Muani's not going to start. So it's basically Richarlison against Tell. Tell is the one that scored last game, had a decent game overall, hit the woodwork as well. So I think he's going to carry on and persist with Matisse Tell up front.
And as well, he can't play on Wednesday against Monaco. So I think that kind of makes up the mind that Tell's, and he had a good international break. And I think the synergy between him, Simmons, Odegaard is starting to build, and Kudus as well. They're starting to build a bit of synergy. So I think we want to just see where that goes, keep it going a bit. Richarlison as well hasn't been that great over the last couple of games.
Yeah.
And he's probably going to have to start on Wednesday. So I think Tell makes a lot of sense.
So, yeah, that is the lineup that we are going for. Vicario in goal, Pedro right back, Destiny left back, Van der Ven and Romero in the centre-back position. We've got João Palhinha and Lucas Bergvall supporting Javi Simmons in the midfield, Kudus on the right, Odegaard on the left, and Matisse Tell up top. So that is your predicted lineup going into the big game against Aston Villa, Sunday, 2 o'clock. Let us know what you think. Are you going for this lineup? If you're going to go for a different lineup, let us know in the comment section below. But this is Frank Ball, remember. You never know what kind of surprises that he is going to spring on the day. But that is our predicted lineup. And let's push ahead and let's go to our match preview.